Hello and welcome. My name is Melody and today is the 24th episode of the Melody Crochet Podcast. I come to you from my home here in Texas. It is so nice to meet you. If you are new, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you will enjoy and that you might want to come join us in the community and take part in one of our alongs that's going on. I am Melody. I'm here in Texas. I knit, I crochet, I love to dye yarn, play with yarn in general, visit yarn stores and smoosh the yarn, and I don't know if that's normal, but I like it. So I go for it. And this is my place where I share with you what I've been looking at, what I've been loving, what I yarn and not yarn related, but mostly yarny because my life is mostly yarny. I live with my husband, my 2 boys, my 2 dogs, and my yarn stash. It's back there. I just got all caught up stashing my yarn on Ravelry. That was work. Okay, do you guys keep yours up to date? It was crazy. It was serious picture taking, organizational, updating craziness, and I could not have done it without my phone and iPad. So there it is. Today I'm going to zoom through what I've been working on because I have not been productive. We'll talk about why. Not an excuse, it's actually just some personal admin that I wanted to talk to you guys about. And we'll talk about my visit today to the DFW Fiber Fest. I got some presents, I had a good time. I figure we'll just talk about it a little bit. And I don't plan to keep you long. It is Friday. Today is April 6, 2018. This is 6 days until the end of our, this is the hashtag, Spring Decor Along 18. That's online over in the Melody Crochet Podcast group on Ravelry. Also, if you are joining us, go ahead and subscribe and hit notifications because between now and the last day, I'll be posting a video. And if you catch it and comment on that video, you will be available to one of the prizes. We have 4 prizes right now. Might be more by the end. Some people have mentioned, but I only hold the ones that I'm absolutely certain of. I have 3 prize packages. One for the finished objects thread, which has only 7 things in it right now because I completely neglected social media for this along up until yesterday. Like for a month. All social media. And I think we have some chatter going on. Finished objects is really quiet and I haven't even posted the video for YouTube yet that you'll post a comment on and win a prize. So there's some good chances going on. The odds look good. We have 3 prize packages with yarn in a bag, and then Hannah over at Cozy Cottage Crochet was nice enough to lend us a copy. She gave us a copy to give away of her Treasure Island shawl that she just designed, which is beautiful. Thank you, Hannah. And I did get a present. We'll be talking about a present that I got from Claudia over at the Crochet Luna podcast, and she just had her first Spanish episode, and I am so proud of her. She went for it and she loved it, so I'm just glad to hear she had fun and it's well received and that she's doing her thing, and I love what she makes. So if you get a chance, go visit her. Some other things that I've enjoyed watching this week were Maricita Colors. I always love Maricita Colors. She had a new kimono style wrap that she made and I just can't get enough of it. That will have to be on my to-do list before the summer heat comes. It's coming soon though. And I think right here, this is my bag. I mentioned the bag, Hobby Lobby. Clearance on their bags. This was $2. So if you get a chance, I got some other packages for some giveaways. Next month is my podcast anniversary, my first one, and you're going to be hearing a lot from me in the next month, and I'm hoping to do some more giveaways. But another along I'm taking part of is in this bag, which I love. I cannot believe I found it for clearance for so low. And look at all that worsted weight acrylic. You know what it is? This is going to be a along for a granny square shrug with Krista over at the Secret Yarnery, and I want it now so badly that I pretty much had to tie my hands to keep myself from just making a granny square shrug after she showed it to me, because I can kind of figure out, you know, how to make a granny square. And it was really hard because I'm not going to be able to wear a granny square shrug for much longer, but there's always air conditioning, so it'll be fun to make anyway. I got my yarn together. I'm waiting on you, Krista, even though it's really hard because your shrug is adorable. It just looks like a big, cuddly sweater, and I can't wait to have one. Mine's going to be black, white, and some metallics, pastels. So there's some gray tones in there too. This is all acrylic. I love this yarn. Literally, like Hobby Lobby, I love this yarn. And some grays, another gray, and it's going to be really pretty, I think. I'm very excited to get it. So that is one thing that I put together. I won't call it a whip, although I've gone as far as I can. And then I am eagerly trying to work on, to work on my Holy Smokes from Zines and Rogers. Rosina has a new Holy Smokes version coming out. It's wider and more shallow. I'm gonna want one, so I need to finish my first one. I'll go ahead and show it to you guys, but you have it. It hasn't moved since I last showed it to you guys. I dyed this yarn to be my next color, and this is it so far. So it's ready for the next color. I don't know, maybe I just don't love this color with it, because I love the shawl. I love it so far. The next color is what's really stalling me. I think I love this color for it. Bag down. Maybe I need turquoise. I don't know. But so far, it's getting there. I'm ready for the next color repeat. And then it should be a wingspan wide. And it is a very deep V. I see what she's talking about, but I like that. I saw it before I started making it. I'll love the more shallow one too, but I like a shawl. I'll come out and I'll say it. I like a shawl that when I wear it like a shawl, it covers my tush. It's a thing. So, my Sunday shawls, I love my Sunday shawls. I'm about to make a Piha shawl, and they're all really deep V's. But I'm gonna love the one she makes too, because I could wear it like a scarf. So, as it were, this is living very happily in my creative garage bag. Over on Instagram, Vanessa Kind. She's beautiful, wonderful, and so is her Instagram. So if you get a chance, go visit her. And she makes the best bags and dyes beautiful, bright colored yarn. She's over in Australia. Y'all love her. I do. I want to order more bags. I got rid of my sewing machine, literally, to the curb. Somebody took it. I was happy about that. I'm not sewing anymore. I like hand embroidery, I like hand sewing. I actually like hand sewing, but it was just not a reliable machine. It made me angry, so it had to go. I'm gonna rely on my beautiful yarny friends that happen to love sewing and are good at it for my bags. And I have been spoiled ever since I made that decision, so I'm not sorry yet. And I will show you a bag that I purchased this last week too. Just a second, trying to keep myself in order. Crinkle, crinkle. Okay. My next in progress is for the, I want to say Firefly Along, but that is not correct. But my next in progress is for the Fortune Cookie Along, the cowl over with Crochet Luna, and I'm not sure how much longer it's going to be going on. She's already extended it once, and I really appreciate it, because I had some organizational mishaps over the last month, and it didn't get done, even though I greatly intended to do her cowl, which is weird, I know. We'll talk more. But I am going to be making, I was thinking, my fortune was you have to die in order to be reborn. My immediate thought was crochet a zombie, crochet a phoenix, maybe Fox from over on Harry Potter. But then I decided reborn, the best bet is going to be a large 70s inspired shawl in freeform crochet. So I'm using a massive hook on Aran weight yarn. I started it yesterday, and I've just made a bunch of circles in blues and purples, and I'm working them all together, and then I will be going around the edges with a deeper blue, black, and some black mohair with sparkle in it. And I think it's going to be pretty. If nothing else, it will be interesting. Let me show you my doodle. I think that there are other freeform crocheters that are just better at it than I am, but freeform is freeform, and it You can't get better at it unless you do it, right? And it's so quick. I started it yesterday morning and I've already got all the circles except for 2 finished. As far as this, and this. I mostly make my doodle so that I can get the sizing down. I want a shawl that's going to be about 60 inches wide and about 40 inches deep, and therefore I had to figure out my dimensions here. So as it stands, 1/3 of a centimeter on my page will equal 1 inch. So that's cool. It'll work out. And so far my circles are the correct size. If they were small or big, I could always just do more or less on the areas surrounding the circles, and I am hoping for a nice beefy picot style edging on the outside. So if nothing else, it won't be boring, and I hope to be done by Monday. Today is Friday afternoon. And that was my last in progress. I was over in Fiber Circle in Farmersville, which is kind of local to me, and I love going there. It's just a huge yarn store. And I saw a new yarn wheel. It's a new cake to me. It might have been around for a while. It's Katia Soleil. It was $24. It is fingering weight, 60% cotton, 40% acrylic. And I really like those colors for a tank top. I'm going to be making one of the tank tops from, for some reason, 11 Handmade comes to mind. I'd have to look, but I have 2 of her shirts in my library, and I will be making one of them. This is 820 yards at 200 grams. I really like all of the colors individually. Normally I wouldn't put these together, but I really like them individually, so I think in the end I'm going to like the shirt. I will also be doing a little video comparing the yarn wheels that I have right now and swatching them out, just to give you guys a better idea of what you might be investing in if you're buying online. In addition to that, I got some stitch markers, and they just could not be cuter. They're so cute. They're little sheep made of yarn balls. They're all colorful. I couldn't love them more. They are absolutely adorable. So, moving on over, I went ahead and I got a present from Claudia over at the Crochet Luna podcast. And we were just going to exchange pins. I requested one of her Crochet Luna pins, and she requested some of my Granny Square stitch markers. Claudia sent me a Crochet Luna pen, which I could not love more. It is absolutely adorable. It was right on my bag, right next to Bob Ross, because they're both artists, and I love them. So, they are happily living on my bag. My great big old tool bag, which I am absolutely loving to pieces. It's holding up great. Let's put that down there. Okay. Then she also made me a bag, which, amazing. She made a bag for me. I didn't even know she sewed. It's beautiful. Cute little patch. It says her name. Fabulous fabric inside. I can see absolutely everything. It's a well lit in white. Soft squishy fabric and a wrist strap that actually fits my wrist. Have you had bags? Some bags don't fit your wrist, so it's nice when they do. And drawstring. Yay! I love drawstrings because they don't hurt my yarn. Just in case. It's always nice. Then when I'm using them, I just flip them over. And it works just like a little bucket. I love it and can't wait to throw a project in there. And she spoiled me with yarn. Now, I already loved Moonshine because I'm lucky enough that Juniper Moon is sold at a local store to me. So I'm familiar with the line and I love their alpaca. But look at that purple. I'm going to brighten things. Look at that color. Grape Passion. It's absolutely beautiful. And she sent all the stitch markers. So cute. I love that heart. I think it needs to go on a zipper pull. So pretty. Thank you so much, Claudia. We had quite the ordeal getting this away from the post office. They tried to keep it for themselves, but we won. And she sent it in the cutest package. It had donuts on it. I literally left the post office and went right to Dunkin' Donuts and got myself a cute donut because I don't even eat donuts. I'm a pretty healthy eater as a rule, Well, I had to have a donut after looking at this. That is precious. Thank you. Everybody sends such cute, neat packages. I'm the worst at that. I love making the package. I'm so slow to ship. Very slow to ship. Everything I'm supposed to ship is on its way. Honest, guys, it's set aside right there. And I shall put it in the mail. I'm the worst at it. It is seriously my Achilles heel. It's like the one thing that I'm sure I'm bad at other things too, but it is the blaring issue, if you will. I love to make things for people and put things together. Shipping, it's not like it's difficult. I literally print out postage at home and my mailman takes it from me. Oh man. But I appreciate everybody for being so kind and patient with me about it. And it all does go out, honestly. So, what's next? I don't think I have anything else. We have to talk about the new along, which is awesome. I think we'll do that before Fiber Fest talk. We are doing an along, a new one. It starts today. Me and Kalisha, who is Nadira Tani on Instagram and Quirky Monday podcast. She also has a Ravelry group. We are doing an along called the As Seen on TV Cal, C-A-L. But you are welcome to knit. Feel free. We both love knitting and crochet. And so excited because there's so many hats, sweaters, crocheted blankets, you name it, in movies and TV shows that people like to make and emulate. Maybe something from your favorite TV show. You can keep an eye out or Google knits from this movie or TV show. But go ahead and make something that you've seen in your favorite TV show or movie. Doesn't have to be your favorite, really, just a TV show or movie. And when you are chattering, that is in my group. So I have the chatter thread. And then when you are finished and you do your finished object, that's going to be in Kalisha's thread over on the Quirky Monday podcast group. And she's going to have the finished objects thread where you will post a picture of what you made and a picture of it in the TV show or movie. So we're going to have some prizes all lined up, get everything cleared up. I'll take care of my prizes, she'll take care of her prizes, and the dates are from today, which is April 6th, 2018, until June 1st, 2018. So almost 2 months. We allowed a long ways because both of us took the theme and our imaginations went a little wild. She thought, oh, Harry Potter, and all of a sudden she wanted extra weeks. So I'm thinking she has some Harry Potter lined up. I love Luna Lovegood, Molly Weasley. Pretty much those are my favorites. Oh, Dobby, but I already have a Dobby. So also I was thinking the Suki blanket that was on the bed when she was on bed rest in Gilmore Girls with the roses, the big rose Afghan. I've always wanted that. I would love to make one. But if you have any questions or comments about it, leave it here, down below, in the Ravelry group, on the chatter thread. Feel free to shoot me a question over on Instagram. Would love to clear anything up for you. Feel free. Now, I'm trying to make sure I haven't left anything out. I did have a couple questions. How I learned to crochet. That was from my mom's friend when I was about 8, taught me how to crochet, 8 or 9, and she started a granny square blanket for me, and then I took it from there and finished the blanket, which ended up being huge. But I didn't know how to start a blanket and I wasn't in contact with her anymore, so I never took it up from there. Then fast forward about 25 years, I was pregnant with my second son and I wanted to make him something. So I went ahead and looked on the internet. This time it was 2008 and we had YouTube, but it was still very grainy YouTube and we can only have 15-minute videos. So it wasn't exactly like it is today, but I was pretty happy to find anything at all. My favorite person to watch was Crochet Geek. She had a black background. I remember it very clearly. Her backgrounds were always black and I could just see better on the grainy texture. So it was a lot easier. But I made so much from YouTube. I learned absolutely everything and I made so much. And then 4 years later, I joined Ravelry, but I don't think I became very active on there till about 2014. 13, and I found some groups that I like and some people that I like and kind of slipped into a clique, and I was happy. So I guess I would just say, yeah, I never took a class. I've never been able to follow a book to teach me how, because it doesn't move. Like, first the hook's here, then the hook's here. How did that happen? You know, did I flip this way or that way? The same with knitting. I could not figure out how to yarn over consistently for a very long time. I would yarn over the opposite direction. But once I found continental knitting, it all really cleared itself up. So that's how I learned. YouTube. And I am doing a little YouTube tutorial on basic stitches very soon. Somebody requested that I do it because I do come from kind of a weird situation where I learned with YouTube and videos. So I know what I like and what I don't like. I'm pretty specific about it. And let's see, favorite channels. I love Marisita Colors. I love Marie Castro. I love anybody that makes clothes. Oh my gosh. Hectanuga taught me how to knit, so she's a favorite of mine, but she teaches everything. I think that's Hectanuga123. I forget her channel name, but I just call her Hectanuga. There's a lot more, but Marisita and Marie come to mind almost instantly when I think of who I'd like to watch. And someone asked how I decide between knitting and crocheting something. And basically, if I want something quickly, I'm going to crochet it. And if I want something later and I just want to work with this yarn for a really long time because maybe I spent a good deal on it or it's very special to me, then I will knit, because knitting takes me a lot longer. And aside from that, it would have to be a special pattern. If I see a crochet pattern or a knitted pattern that are just calling to me, then I'll make them specifically. I am more of a process creator than I am a project creator. The end result items, I very rarely keep everything except for my shawls. And lately I've been keeping my socks, but I really like making socks for other people too. I didn't think I would, but now that I've gifted a few, I do kind of like that. It takes me forever to make a pair of socks though. We're talking like 6 months. Let's see, how do I substitute yarns? That's pretty interesting. I go about looking at that 2 different directions. The first would be, I have the yarn in my hand. Do I have anything at home that would work like this? And what would this work in? So for that, I will go to Ravelry, look up the yarn, and see what kind of yarn it is. Say DK weight cotton, maybe mercerized, not mercerized. And then I will go back and do an advanced search and see if there's anything commonly available, meaning, you know, if there's 30,000 projects using this yarn and it's not discontinued. And I'll see if there's anything commonly available before I buy it, just to see if I could do better price-wise. And if I can't, or I'm really in love with the yarn, then I'll go for it. But if I'm holding a yarn and nobody's really used it, so I can't see what it's looked like on different hooks, you basically look up the yarn, look under projects made with that yarn, and then choose crochet or knitting, and then you can go down and choose the size needle or hook that the people have used on it and see what the average gauge looks like on that size. And that helps me in seeing, because if I'm looking for a sweater that is using a G-hook on that size yarn, I'm gonna want to see what this size yarn looks like on a G-hook. Is it looking drapey? Have people liked it? There's a star rating on there for yarn. I take it very seriously. If everybody's saying this yarn is not good, I'm not buying this yarn. And if the project calls for a yarn, because you know how if you look at a pattern, most of them will call for a yarn. And if I look at that yarn and people don't like it, I will find out what size that is, what material it's made out of, and if it's got any special situations, like I said, mercerized, single ply, just specific qualities to the yarn, then I will look for something similar that people actually do like. And that works out really well for me. Now the other end of the spectrum is, for example, I was watching somebody make something yesterday morning, and she had an accent, and they didn't say the brand of yarn, they just said the type of yarn. It was Ponita. I've never heard of Ponita. So she said it really fast, and I finally got it after watching about 3 times. And then it was Lana Grossa. So I went to Lana Grossa, and I sat and looked through all of the Lana Grossa yarns, because they list them. It's about 7 pages of yarns that they list. And then I found out it would be hard for me to get because it's from another country. So I looked at what kind of yarn it is, and then I worked backwards. So it told me that it was a sport weight mercerized cotton. So I looked for sport weight cottons that were more available to me. I don't think Knit Pick Shine is mercerized, but it looked like it hung very similarly in the projects. So I was thinking that would probably be the easiest one for me to get a hold of. Plus I really like the colors. Iris purple's really pretty. So aside from that, I use Ravelry search function a lot, and I really enjoy it. I'm very glad that we have it. It's a resource that I don't know what I would do without. I'd have to spend a lot more time in the yarn store because I have ADD like crazy. I'm a figure 8 person. I go to a store and I just work myself around over and over again. So that is my last question. Thank you so much for asking. I would love to hear more, and feel free to leave the questions below here on the video or over in the Ravelry group, wherever you like. I'm everywhere. Now, I think we can get into Fiber Fest. I went to Fiber Fest this morning. Okay, do you have some tea? I'm probably going to be very jabbery here. It is in DFW, Dallas Fort Worth, and I got up at about 6 a.m. We left at 7. I took my younger son, my older son, and my older son's girlfriend, Amber. She had to be back by 12:30 for work, so we got there the minute they opened. So we were in line for opening, and that was at 9 o'clock, and it's Friday. So this is the first day. And I just had the best time. Oh, it was so nice. I wore my Marled Magic. Oh, it's on the bed over there. I wore my Marled Magic, which I love, and my Easter socks, the ones by Jinx Yarns, because Jinx Yarn was there, and I was so excited to get some new Jinx Yarn. So I made a beeline once we got inside, straight for the Jinx Yarns. Mind you, I had not yet had any coffee. I tried to have coffee at home, and it didn't work. And then we went to Sonic for breakfast because it was just on the way and fast, and I was so eager to get there. And Sonic had iced coffee, which it sounded okay. They put a ton of massively sweet praline sugar flavored stuff in my coffee. I couldn't even stomach it. If I had forced it, it was not going to be pretty. So we got over there. I took the toll roads. It was quick. And we got in there a few minutes early, bought our tickets, got in line, and I think what struck me most is how many alpaca farms were there. It was so nice. I just love seeing pictures of alpaca. They're my favorite animal. Well, not total favorite animal. I'm pretty partial to unicorns, but I love alpaca. And gracious. There was some woodworking going on. Beautiful. I ended up not getting a drop spindle because they were about $60. I have 2 drop spindles that I don't use enough. I think that's going to have to be a treat if I get myself to use my own spindles to spin some yarn. Then I'll get myself something nicer. But I was super jealous over Cheverell had her hot pink drop spindle. She had a Turkish one that she picked up out of, I forget, Black Sheep? I forget. She was talking about Apple Pie Moonshine and a yarn festival, and I was just super jealous of her last night. But when I saw them, and they even had purple, I said no. I'd rather spend the $60 on something I know I'll use right now. So I was strong, and I took their card. So went off and I kept on going. I went over to West 7th Wall. They had a massive stash of all the Brooklyn tweed yarns, and then they had a really nice stash of Madeline Tosh. And I held off on both because I figured I'll come back at the end if I absolutely have to. And I ended up not going back, which is very telling. I can always get my Shelter and my Madeline Tosh Toshmo over on the internet, so it's gonna be okay. But they did have some pretty new colors. Trying to remember what some of them were called. They had some really great names. I've been looking for something that is vastly white with some inky blue speckles and maybe some other colors speckled in there too, kind of like what Rosina had from going to Scotland. I think it was last week she showed what she got over at Wover when she went to Scotland for the Edinburgh. I need tea. I think last week is when Rosina showed her stash that she got from Scotland when she went to Edinburgh 2 weeks ago. And she had this super beautiful skein that had colorful speckles on mostly white with some inky blue, and I was in love. I need something like that, but I didn't see anything. They had close, but it was either not enough light or not quite the right color, so I held off. What else was awesome? I did make it right to Jinx Yarns, and I ended up getting Misty. We love Pokemon. I've seen so many people order Jinx Yarns yarn and not get the name. That's totally fine. I mean, if you love yarn, buy the yarn, right? But I'm like, I have to get the name. That's part of it for me. And this is Pokemon Misty. And it has a pretty blue colorful stripe. I went full glitz. I got such a sparkly skein. I'm so happy. The whole hank is just blowing up. And then the pretty blue speckles on one of the stripes. And I love that tomatoey orange. I got this from her. So this is called Misty, and it's on the glitz sock self-striping. 438 yards for 100 grams, 75% superwash merino with the 20 and the 5% of nylon and stellina. I love that twist. It's so soft. And this is her power sock in Ezra. Hopefully it'll look well. The only other options were grays, so I figure that's pretty close. Then I was walking, my little one had some money to spend, and he got this. He is a weaver, and he is going to put this in some of his weavings. He just loves it. He was given weaving sticks by Stephen B over at Stitches, maybe last year, the year before, I think 2 years ago, and he just loves making little weavings. So this is going to go into his weaving, and I think it's going to look beautiful. There's actually 3 colors in there, kind of a green blue, a turquoise, and an emerald green. So shiny. He loves it. He went through and got the card from everybody there. He loves cards. Some people were a little guffy about it, but I guess I can understand. But he got everybody's card. And then we're really close to done. I'd spent my 2 hours, totally euphoric, get to the back row, and who's hiding back there? Leon Alexander. There's his card. There's the yarns cards. Oh my gosh. I saw it on a sweater first. It wasn't even on the hank. I saw it on a sweater first. First I saw Sorry. And this is from his India collection. And it's so pretty worked up. It was just, I tried to keep walking because I have so much loud and I wanted something more muted, but I don't think I'm ever going to just buy anything muted. Look at this. This one is called Bombay. It's very similar, but it has more yellow. This one has more of the pink. Aside from that, it has the same colors in there. They're gonna look beautiful together. I'll find some dark purple to work in, maybe for a stripe or a border or whatnot, but they're going to be a shawl. I'm not even sure which one. I just love them so much they had to come home. I had my hands filling up really fast in his booth. It was an issue because was just amazing. All the colors and the speckles are so pretty, and he has samples. They were breathtaking. He had a dotted raise, a faded dotted raise from Stephen West. It was huge. I wanted it so badly. And he has a Paris collection, and that was the Paris collection. This is his India collection called Take Me to Bombay. And there was one in the middle too, and I completely forget what the middle collection was, but it was also very pretty. One colorway that was exclusive, so that was cool, but I could not put down this yarn. So this one had to come home, and then this one just looked good with it. So super soft, super smushy. He was so sweet, and I got a sticker too. It's already on my bullet. It's on my bullet journal. We need to talk about this guy. I stopped using my bullet journal about 4 weeks ago. Not because I made an open choice to do so. I downloaded Google Keep, and Google Keep is kind of like the Pinterest of note-taking, and you just kind of collect your notes and your to-do lists, but it's not good enough for me. It's nice to have lists like that, but I stopped being productive at all. There is something about having one list for the whole day with everything on it all together, and if I don't finish something, I have to put an arrow at the end of it and write it all down again tomorrow. That makes me get stuff done. But I just collected more and more full to-do lists and didn't accomplish anything, and I wasn't even going back to look at them every day. And I just felt like I was in a slump. My mojo was gone. I was not accomplishing I think I was probably at like 25% efficiency. Everything slumped, and it was just crazy. I was blaming Mercury retrograde the other day, and then it clicked. I have not used my bullet journal, and it is all in the toilet. And now I started using it again yesterday. I think was the first full day, and I'm already back on track. I started my fortune cookie cal. I started creating. Last week I kept myself busy. I wasn't relaxing when I wasn't accomplishing. I kept thinking of new things to do because I couldn't think of what I should be doing. I completely updated my stash on Ravelry for no good reason. I was just floundering. It was crazy. But it's okay. That's behind me now. I'm back on my bullet journal, and I feel so much better. And I love my stickers. So I did get some pens, in addition to this awesome little tube that my son made with one of the men that had a big old Carter out, and he just let my son pick some colors, and then he rolled it up at the end and gave this to him. It's very pretty. He chose good colors. I got a pen from Leon Alexander. Awesome. It's a glittery lion mane. I got one from Yarnia. I've never shopped there. I just like the word Yarnia. I'm sure they're awesome. They had some nice yarn there. They had a dyer. I'm not sure if she's the only one Yarnia sells. I'm sure they sell other things too. But they had a dyer there, and she made beautiful dye. Beautiful yarn. But Yarnia, so cute. And then one more from Jinx Yarns. I got a striping sock. So amazing. So I love these acrylic pens, but they're like $10 each. It kind of hurts. But fortunately, I think a few of them that I got were $5, so not too bad. I didn't do any massive damage. I've done worse in the past and come out feeling less satisfied, so I'm pretty satisfied with what I've done. Now I'm gonna cut myself off. I'm gonna move on, I have to clean up my house. When I say I was not efficient, I'm serious. I was not efficient. I'm gonna make a list of things I need to do in the house, cross it off. Then I'm gonna go grocery shopping, get back on track with my meal planning because I do meal prepping. And then hopefully, and I'm gonna work really fast because if I do all that before 7 o'clock or so, I'm gonna take myself to all 3 of the craft stores because I haven't been for about 2 weeks. Even that. Bullet journal. It's you and me, man. Come join us for the Spring Decor Along 18 up for the next 6 days and the brand new to everybody as seen on TV Cal for knitting and crochet, of course. And thanks for stopping in again. Have a great one. Bye, guys.